Well, it's definitely a different year than most in some regards. But I think if you get past some of the initial emotionary reaction, you can look at 2020 as a good year. Here's why. Number one is because of the coronavirus and many people being quarantined, this allowed many people in society to be able to work remotely. Working remotely was one of my biggest career goals in my life. And now it's not just a dream for the select few, but for many, because of the year 2020, because of what has happened, you are able to work remote. How is that good? Well, you don't have to commute. You don't have to get dressed up. You can live wherever you want. That's good. Here's another good thing, okay, that came out of 2020. No business travel. Okay, so for those who are in a business that they have to sometimes travel, maybe they don't want to. So now you don't have to worry about that. Here's another good thing, okay, that came out of 2020. For those who have a house, their house value appreciated because of the stimulus, because of the low interest rates. House prices are at an all-time high. Stock market closed today. As I make this video, it's the last day of 2020. Stock market's at an all-time high. So you have the stock market at an all-time high. You have housing at an all-time high. You have people who received, here's another good thing, people who got laid off, some of them made more money. They got a promotion. They got a raise. They made more money on unemployment due to the supplemental federal assistance. Here's another good thing that came from something bad. You realized who you should not live with. You realize that your mother needs space. You realize that you really should get a divorce. Is that good? You're damn right that's good. Stop wasting time in your life. Stop going back to something you know is broken. Stop trying to put the circle in a square peg. See, as painful as it may be, it's a good thing when we realize we are not where we're supposed to be. It's a good thing when we have the opportunity to change. If you're in the medical industry, you had a great year. Any nurse, anyone that has anything to do with the healthcare industry, their job became more valuable. It's another good thing. Personally, you may have gotten out of debt. The first time in my adult life, in the year 2020, I am out of debt. That's a good thing. There's some things you can control that have nothing to do with the coronavirus. But for many people, the coronavirus is the greatest excuse. And the next excuse is it's going to be great in 2021. And I'll tell you this, in March and in April, those people will run out of steam. Remember Nomadic Fanatic, he was going on this weight loss journey this time last year. Now, he's got a house with arcade. A lot changes in a year. Okay. This time last year, no one had really heard about the coronavirus. There certainly wasn't lockdowns. On December 31st, 2019, I want you to remember that it was different. Okay. Not in a sad way, but in a way where if you fast forward to December 31st, 2021, a year from now, things will be different. And I'm telling you right now, there was some good different things. You can work from home. You don't have to do business travel. If you're in the medical industry, you're winning. If you're unemployed, you may be making more money than you did when you were working. If you were a door dasher, guys, you made a lot of money. If you're in South Florida now, guess what, guys? The Canadians and the Europeans, they ain't here. You're winning. You can get good out of 2020. Maybe you had a personal goal. Get out of debt, lose weight. There shouldn't have been much that stopped you in 2020. I mean, there was a couple months that all of us got put on hold. I went through some tough times, and I learned that I would never go and be with my mother for a long period of time. I'm an adult male. Okay. And if there was an emergency, like there was a national emergency, and if we were ever in a state of limbo, or if my mom needed me, I would go. But my mom has her own life, and so do I, and that's good. Because as an adult, okay, if you didn't learn that you shouldn't be living with your parents, you learned it this year. That's good. Infinity, what's up, man? Shout out to everyone with the vasectomy. I had some nasty girl. She's a big chick. She said, if everyone got a vasectomy and no one had kids, the human race would die out. My reply to her is, we're all going to die out. So what's the difference? You're going to die. Your children are going to die. You have children just so they can die. She had children, okay? Okay? For what reason? They're going to die. She's going to die. We all die. The human race are dying. Okay? It's just like the Federal Reserve. We're printing money, but guys, we ain't never paying it back. So, look, that's a false thing. But I know she's too lazy, okay, to go out there and make her own life. She quarantined her fucking year. She got a picture of a palm tree. Put a picture of yourself. How was 2020 for you? Okay. Because what I can tell you is a lot of people shouldn't be having kids. Infinity says, you can always find good in most things. Well, it wasn't easy to find good in her comment. But I guess the good thing that came from it is I blocked her. One less person I have to deal with. Rashad, what's up, man? Happy 2020. We ain't 2001 yet. He goes, Happy New Year's, bro. Let's go 10 times harder in 21. Well, I don't know how much harder I can go. I traveled up and down when the National Guard deployed. I traveled up and down the East Coast. I paid off debt. I grew my YouTube channel. I navigated the world of all-night gas stations. I preached the good message of get a vasectomy. Secure your money bag. Okay. So, guys, if I go any harder in 2021, the internet's going to break. Okay. So what I can tell you is this, guys. Remember, everyone starts the fourth quarter with a lot of intensity. Okay. In the fourth quarter, guys, they're talking about what they're going to eat after the game. Okay. Like Charles Barkley used to say on TNT, they're talking about they're going fishing. Okay. So thank you, Rashad. May the rest of your 2020 be good, and may 2021 be awesome. Okay. But there's some good that came out of this. Truck drivers are more valuable than ever. Okay. There's another good thing. Everyone that wants universal basic income, you have a perfect template for it now. And this extended unemployment, it may eventually evolve into universal basic income, even universal health care. You got Trump out. That's a good thing. Okay. Last year, Trump was talking about he's the best president ever. Now he will go down as the worst. That's a good thing. Why? Because he's a bad character person. A person like that should never be in charge. Even though he's right some things, he is right on some things. And I'm not full Nancy Pelosi style either, because Portland is a shithole. Okay. And I had some trolls from Oregon, and that's a bad thing. Okay. So, what's another good thing? Well, things have loosened up. Okay. And you know what you value and what you don't. Okay. Because it's not until the shit hits the fan that you know what you want to do and what you don't. Because when the shit hits the fan, you realize, look, am I living the life I want to live? Now, I think a lot of people struggled this year, emotionally, mentally, because humans are creatures of habit. And what happened to all of us, myself included, we all got thrown out of our habits and our routines. Now, some adapt more than others. And some people, they don't. And I want you to remember that. I want you to remember the book, Who Moved My Cheese? You'll need that book more than any other book. It's all about adapting. Because one thing we know is that life and time changes everything. And no one can predict the future. If you would have said last year where we'd be at today, you would have said a pandemic, you would have said riots, you would have said all the stuff that happened. Would you have said people who didn't work are making more money than ever? Houses higher than ever? Stock market all-time high? You can work remotely. You can DoorDash. You can be a truck driver. You can be a nurse. You can make so many more things happen, and things are so good that people are looking at like, damn, huh? Now, the people that had physical issues and that suffered with the virus, that's bad. But here's the good news. Most people recovered. I've had people on my channel, Sabrina, Eric, Cameron, not Cameron. Cameron got caught with a gun. But some other people, they got the coronavirus and they made a recovery. The good news is the coronavirus is very infectious, but not very deadly. You said, well, it's about 300,000 people that died. Well, last year, 500,000 people died from obesity. See, it's a good thing if you use this as an opportunity to say, you know what? I have to make my immune system stronger by stop smoking cigarettes, because that's number one cause of death, stop drinking alcohol, and stop eating too much Chick-fil-A. I was just in an all-night gas station, and people are getting ready to celebrate the new year. And guess what they're doing? They're buying alcohol, they're buying cigarettes, and they're buying Twinkies. Okay. And what I can tell you is they're starting off 2021 with a great bang. Finny, my sister is super sick from it right now. She said it's like the flu on steroids. I've heard very similar, and I'm sorry to hear that, brother. It's a real thing. And again, what I could tell you is this. It's a real thing, but from my understanding, most people I know that got it, they really quarantined and they still got it. Infinity, was she basically quarantining? Like the people I know on my channel, they weren't out frolicking. They weren't out the bar. They weren't out the gym. So they said in the beginning of the virus that 80% of the country would probably get it no matter what. They're trying to get the vaccine out there before whatever. But like I say, not everyone's going to take it. Yep, she was working from home and everything. Guys and girls. So that's the thing. Like, you say, oh, I played safe. I'm at home. I'm not doing nothing. Everyone I know who got the coronavirus, they were basically doing that, and they still got it. So it's sad and it's a shame for anyone who gets sick and for the few or the, obviously thousands that die. Not my wish for people. And this next couple months is going to be tough. Because I still don't think you're going to get herd immunity with the vaccine until second half of 2021 if everything goes according to plan. And we know from this year it not always does. Let's take a hydration break. Hello, my man Sam. Happy and blessed New Year. There you go, brother. I like that positivity. Blessed to find this dope channel this year. Well, blessed to have you for a season. Got to find the good in everything. Not easy. But you're right, brother. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Infinity. Thank you, Rashad. Great to have all of you. Look, it's a blessing to find my channel, and it's a blessing to leave it. I've lost some members this year. I've gained more than I lost. Have I lost some friends? I would say probably. I mean, I really don't have that many friends, but I'm sure like some of them watch my channel and sometimes they think I'm talking about them, or even sometimes like a friend of mine, a couple that I still talk to, he called me today. And I love this guy, but I got to share. So he called me, he got divorced, and he did the right thing getting a divorce. They were just not on the same page. So then within 10 months, what'd he do? He met some chick at the gym. Never date a girl at the gym. Why? You're sweating, you're working out, your testosterone's going, she got on yoga pants, and next thing you know, you're moving in with her, and that's what happened. He moved in with her, and guess what, guys? Within 7 months, he's doing a big renovation on the kitchen. I'm not going to say that how much, because he may be watching. I know he's very upset with me. So he did this big renovation in her kitchen, because he's not on the title of the house. Oh, what a disaster. I'm getting upset thinking about it. And I got upset with him today, but I didn't mean to get upset. But you guys know I'm very intense. I'm not used to... I can't talk about relationships. I get too upset. So now there's nothing good coming out of this. Maybe you guys can learn from his mistake. And I love him if he's watching. I got shares. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not saying how much he spent on the renovation. It's still ongoing. So he does this renovation. After he just got divorced, he moves in with this girl within 10 months, does a huge kitchen renovation, very big, and he moves back in with his new girlfriend to his mom's house so he can finish the renovation. It's a disaster. He's mad at me. Don't be mad at me, brother. I love you. So, like, he told me I didn't even know, like, he had did that, okay? Because I know he's, like, a little upset with me because I'm a little wild. He's a great guy. But he called me today to wish me, like, Happy New Year's, which I appreciate. Very nice. And I was listening to the story, and then he was telling me he moved in with his mom. I said, what you move in with your mom for? You're living with your girl, aren't you? He goes, well, we had to leave the house to do the renovation because there was a part, like, he couldn't be in the house. I said, oh, shit. And then, of course, he got an argument with his mom. Like, everyone in 2020 who spent too much time with their parents, you realize you shouldn't be living with your parents. It's good to move out of your parents' house. But he moved back in to do a renovation, and he ended up almost getting in a fist fight with his mother's man. Why? Not enough space. It's good to have space. Bad to be on top of each other. Bad to do renovations. Here's the worst thing that came out of 2020. A lot of people started doing too many renovations. Why? Because they were quarantined, and that's what they start to do. They start to look around and say, what can we fix? I'm very upset. So, out of, like, rage, I was a little upset. I wasn't expecting a call today. I got thrown for a loop. And he called me to wish me happy, New Year's, but I ended up cursing at him. I said, man, what the fuck you doing this renovation for, man? Cut that bitch off. And, like, I said, no disrespect to you, but, like, you can't call your man's girl a bitch, but I did. I didn't mean to. But I wasn't expecting him to tell me all this stuff. Guys, you can't call me and tell me about your girl problems, because I don't want to hear it. I can't hear. But he was a good guy. What were we talking about? All right, what's good in 2000? Well, thank God it ain't me. Better him than me. That's good. I'll never do another renovation. You say, if you're going to spend $100,000, why don't you just buy, a small house? Why buy an RV lot? Because I never want to do a renovation. I never want to look at sheetrock. I want a travel trailer that comes with all the furniture, all the plumbing, and when it doesn't work, you throw it out, you get another $10,000 travel trailer. I think renovations not only destroy your soul, they destroy your relationships, they destroy your money. What's good is to keep it simple. And what's bad is to do renovations. And so I got off track, but I had to share that because it's been on my heart. I wanted to call him again, tell him I'm sorry. I'm sorry I cursed at him. I called his girl a bitch. But I don't think it's very tough to, there's a scripture in the Bible that says once you offend a friend, very tough to get them back. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend him. I love this guy. Good guy. I don't like his girl. I think it's good. I don't know. I shouldn't say it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. All right, hold on, guys. Let's take a hydration break. Huh. Rashad, I live in Maryland. Shout to Upper Marlboro. I'm car living and traveling between Baltimore and D.C. Okay. I've been outside all year long and never got COVID. Okay. Maybe my immune system is strong, possibly, and I got already with no symptoms. That's possible too. Rashad, shout out to the Maryland, D.C. area. Be more. What I can tell you is, I don't know if you did one winter yet, but I know from living in my car in New Jersey for 2 years, the toughest months are February and March. Okay. End of January, February, March, just like the summertime. There's 2 months in the winter and 2 months in the summer for the nomads that are the hardest. In the winter, it's February, March. In the summer, it's, August, end of July, August, and into September. Look, those are the peak of the seasons. One of the hardest things about living in your vehicle is dealing with bad weather, too hot or too cold. You know, one good thing this year is, guys, a lot of nomads actually got off the road. A lot of nomads bought a home base. Why is that good? Because, guys, I think it's good in one sense that the nomad life peaked out. Yeah, everyone's buying RVs, everyone's traveling, but eventually when the vaccine or whatever, if that takes place and that keeps going, you're going to see, that, and even society showed us in 2020, people value stability more than adventure, and rightfully so. However, living in your car, living as a nomad is still good. And that's why I felt bad, too, when I cursed out my friend a little bit. Because I almost feel like a hypocrite where I was getting upset with him. But, like my father got upset with me when I was doing certain things like living out of a car, selling my house. But I don't know, like I said, he like blindsided me with the call, and then somehow we started talking about his girl, and then he told me he was beefing with his mom, and then he told me he moved in with his mom. I said, why you move in with your mom? And he said he was doing a renovation at his girl's house, and I said, what a clusterfuck. And I got very upset. Look, I think stop having kids. How is the human race going to keep going? Guys, all the humans die anyway. Okay? You name one human that hasn't died. So, what I want to tell you is this. Shout out to Infinity and everyone with a vasectomy. How people did more renovations on their house during the COVID. Yeah, that's why even with the stimulus, people are in high debt. This is an excellent comment, though. You're right. They did more renovations on their house than they did themselves. That's true. They were scared to face the reality, so they did everything else. Excellent comment, Hal. You get it. Distractions. Like I said, as soon as COVID hit in early March, like when it really hit mainstream, I had people on my channel, they were like, yes, let's lock everything down. I was like, damn. I was like, let's find out more information, because they were already like not doing the work of their life. So for them to hear like everyone else has to stay home too, like they're like, yes, let everyone stay home. But again, the good thing is you can work remote. The good thing is you can live anywhere you want now as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. The good news is you didn't have to do business travel. The good news is if you're in the medical field, if you're in the IT field, if you're in the truck driver industry, if you're in the food delivery, you had a good year. And if you had no kids, you have a good year every year. Never forget it. Now, I knew some girl, I didn't leave a comment on her channel. She don't have a channel, she got Instagram. I grew up with her. She had a kid artificially. She couldn't have a kid naturally, so she played God and injected sperm in a fake egg or, a steroid egg or whatever. And they had this fake-ass kid. He's real now. He's in the real world. Okay. And so what do I think about that? Well, hey, guys, we keep creating all these fake-ass kids. We're going to overpopulate the world. And that's why we got diseases. Okay. So what do I think about you playing God? Well, what I think is, you're fucking up. Okay. Because God's trying to tell you don't have kids. And you kept forcing the issue. Okay. Forcing the issue. But that's my opinion. My channel, my opinion. Okay. And that's how I feel. Okay. Some people don't feel that way. There's plenty of videos that talk about renovations and home and having kids. I don't. There's plumbers that you can call to rotor your pipes because you've been quarantined and you're stuffing all your toilet paper, all your feminine products, all the hair in the drain. Yep. And what I could tell you is this. There ain't enough stimulus in the world make me live that life. I'll tell you this. What's the good thing in 2020? Well, guys, we had channel memberships. Let's keep all the psychopaths locked out. Okay. Why? Guys, there's some psychopaths, they just like to play with the thumbs up, thumbs down. This is mentally disturbed. And what I can tell you is this. Guys, no one has showed up more consistently by the grace of God than I've been able to do this past year. Okay. So that was a good thing. Consistency wins championships. Now, can 2021, the whole YouTube universe collapse? Yes. However, all I could do is focus on one day at a time. I lost some great people this year. Why? Well, one is the average basic relationship only lasts 10 months. Two is, I got a super chat, so hold the F up. Tony Guerrera, $10 super chat, make it rain on me. Now, with the Canadian exchange currency, that only equals $7.85 US, which I'm very grateful for, but I want everyone to know that people who say, oh, Canadians got $2,000. Well, if you do the currency exchange, they actually get $1,600 in US dollars. So always have to do the currency exchange. So $7.85 in US dollars, $10, I don't know what they call it. They call that Canadian dollar? Tony Guerrero says, here's to a new year of rentals. Hell no. Oh yeah, no rentals. Yeah, hell yeah. No entanglements, 100. No debt. I had to talk, Tony, I had to talk myself out of not going on the car lot today. Not easy. He goes, no debt, lots of money bags. Damn it, brother, you know, you're talking my language. Minimalism and being the captain of your own ship. Tony, excellent comment. Thank you for staying with me. You've been holding it down, brother, and I give you credit, and thank you. Okay, very gracious of you, brother. Love to you, Tony Guerrero. Happy New Year's, guys. Okay, Hal, Rashad, Infinity, Happy New Year's. Was 2020 a good year? Hey, guys, look. It was great for me on YouTube. Okay, revenue all-time high. Okay, some people say, "Oh, revenue down." Well, guys, that's because you bought a home base. You didn't show up consistently and stop making videos. I saw my man Blanton did a video about how much money he made in 2020. Guy, he stopped making videos for a little while. Okay, hey guys, look, you ain't gonna make no money. You don't show up. Okay, and what I can tell you is this: you got to get your ass out of your chair. You got to take your video camera. You got to go to a car dealership. You got to go to a house. You can't just stand in front of the TV. Okay. You can't just stand in your house. You can't just stand in your car. You got to go. You got to look. My biggest videos, okay, are videos of at the RV dealership, outside doing like house or, Florida videos. Okay. And then mixed in with my personal videos that I do live every night. So you have to push yourself. People don't want to see you just sitting because they're just sitting. They're paying you to entertain them, okay? Because, guys, they got no life, okay? You have to entertain, okay? And you have to give them information. You have to give them motivation, okay? And then when they hate you, you have to give them, exudation. Because, guys and girls, there's some people playing a game like, we're going to be service dogs, friends forever. We're not. We are going to connect for a season. We're going to exchange information and encouragement, okay? And then we're going to move on with our life. Why? Because that's the natural cycle of life. And if you didn't realize living with your parents too long, like I went back to live with my mom stay by my mom, and it was too much. I wasn't even living in her house. What I can tell you is this, guys, it's good to be an adult and be out on your own. And if you don't believe me, you weren't quarantined by your mom. I wasn't even in the same house. But the same issues from when I was young. Okay. And that's like, guys, you got to be an adult. Okay. And you got to go out there in the world and you got to make a way. Okay. You got to put a mask on. You got to DoorDash. Okay. And look, you can't live up to an old lady's expectation. Because I got some old ladies, they want me to be their son, their mother, their brother, their father. Okay. No. Put that on your son. Talk to your son. Don't talk to me. So what I can tell you is this, guys. Overall, it's a good year. Now, overall, anything can change, but we have to stay focused. Thank you, Tony. Ryan, Happy New Year, Sam. Fifth dimension incoming. Well, let me tell you something. I've been in the fifth dimension for 5 years. Why? Because I've been to all-night gas station for 4. And all-night gas stations like dog years. 4 years is at least 5, okay? So what I can tell you is this, guys, okay? I've paid the price, okay? I've paid the price, okay? And what I can tell you is this, is I'm not going to be living in an all-night gas station forever. Why? Because I paid the price. So what I can tell you is this. Okay. There's a lot of people that don't want to pay the price of change. Okay. And because of that, okay, every year is a bad year. Because the only thing that happens every year is change. Now, it happened on a very big scale this year. And it fucked up a lot of people. And it was tough for me at times too. I'm human. But I still did what I needed to do. Okay. I took my hits. Okay? I learned some lessons that I had to get reinforced. Okay? And I kept showing up. Okay? You get the grace of God along the way. Like Chris Rock said, when you're stranded on the side of the road, when you're pushing your own car, people tend to stop. When you're sitting there waiting for people to stop, no one stops. Okay. So what I could tell you is this, guys and girls. There's a part of your journey that you have to push your own car. Now, what I can tell you is there's no way you're going to be able to push your car by yourself. You're going to need someone's help at some point. And what I can tell you is someone will help you. Even a guy I cursed out today, my friend, I love him. He helped me a lot. Different things, very smart guy. But I called his girlfriend a bitch. Why? Because they're doing a big kitchen renovation. I got very upset. And I shouldn't have did that. I was wrong. I was wrong. But I got upset. Okay. And what I can tell you is this. Don't do a kitchen renovation. It'll never stop. And those appliances will be out of date in 3 years. And you'll be divorced in 10. Okay. I've seen videos of people showing their husband cooking in the kitchen. And they're like, I can't wait till this motherfucker dies. So I got a little bit left before my skin starts to totally crack. That's what I see. See, you see the meal getting prepared. I see the person behind the camera waiting for that motherfucker to die so they can live a life of freedom. Yeah, you say, well, that's too cynical. That's not good. Well, guys, that's why I'm single. Single's good. Okay. I still got to watch my back. I'm not watching my back like, oh, no, they want me to die. I'm watching my back from a psychopath at an all-night gas station. Okay. Now, some of you got to watch your back from people you're sleeping with. That's true. Yeah. So let's take out this. Thank God for minimalism. Thank God for being debt-free. That's good out of this year. I got debt-free this year. Thank God for remote work. Okay. Thank God, okay, for Florida, the last free state. Okay. Thank God. I don't know, man. You know, now I'm just reaching. All I can tell you is there was some good that came out, okay, this year. And finished strong. I think right now as I make this, it's about 7:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Now, here's something that'll blow your mind. In Asia, they're already in the new year. Guys, Asia's a day ahead of us, okay? Like China was 5 years ahead of Donald Trump. Oh, played his ass. Hey, guys, guess what? We lost the trade war. I don't want to spoil it, but China played dumbass Trump, okay? Now, America looks like the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, bankrupt, and, guys, we're printing money to keep the economy going. I'll tell you this, guys, Trump 2020 was a big fail, okay? Let's say that. Okay. What good came out of... Guys, here's the good thing that came out of 2020. All the psychopaths, since day one Donald Trump got elected, they predict, oh, Trump 2020, Trump... I had to listen to that shit for 4 years. And guess what, guys? You're done. Okay. That's over. Okay. And you will go down in history, one of the worst presidents ever. Hate to say it, but it's true. So, that's a good thing. Okay. Thank you again, Tony Guerrero. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Rashad. Thank you, Infinity. So what I can tell you is this, guys. The circle's getting smaller. Why? Because, look, that's just the way life goes, man. I mean, you're not... I don't know, man. Look, the circle's going to get smaller when you don't drink alcohol, you don't smoke, you don't go to your friend's kitchen renovation for New Year's. When you're a loner, when you're living on the road, guys, your circle gets smaller. Why? Because eventually you start to fight with everyone because you're not living the conforming life. You're less than 1% of society. And even in the people in 1% of society, they got home bases. Or they're in a rental, or they're in a motel. You know, like when the coronavirus hit, one of my viewers at the time, AJ, he lived in his Prius in Miami. I was living in my car traveling up the East Coast of America during a pandemic. I was making videos like, look, the nomad life's pretty much done right now. He was like, no, I love the nomad life. I was like, bro, where you at? You ain't still in your car. He was in a 5-star hotel in Miami. Okay. But however, that's the value of being a nomad. You got flexibility. However, you have to tell the people you're broadcasting live from a rental, not from your car. Tony Guerrero says living alone is a blessing. It is. A lot of people can't handle being alone. And I don't know, man. Look, I'm wrong to say that everyone should be alone because, look, everyone's got to do what they want to do. But guys, when you live in upstate New York, and Andrew Cuomo tells you what to do. Okay, that's true. I hate to say it, it's true. However, look, guys, coronavirus is real. But who is it that just said, yeah, Infinity's sister got the coronavirus. She was in her house. So who knows? Ryan. Yeah, when I stopped drinking, I really lost touch. Guys, no one's going to be your friend, okay? Well, unless you go to church. But then the church is about a bunch of bullshit too. And the church is dead. What's the good thing out of 2020? All organized religions dead. All the churches, all the pastors, they're done. Okay. So, but guys, if you're not going to get drunk on New Year's, if you're not going to smoke weed, if you're not going to eat Chipotle, if you're not going to do a renovation, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're not going to be part of the mainstream. Okay. And if you're talking about not doing that, you think like people who are doing that want to hear your shit? No. And I understand that. And again, I apologize for calling my friend's girlfriend a bitch today. I didn't mean to say that. But I got very upset when I heard about all that was going on. And what I can tell you is this, guys. For me, this is my channel, my thing. And for those who connect with me, is that I think what destroys people in the wealthiest economy in the world is renovations. It's relationships. It's children. Children are Satan's spawn. Because what I can tell you is this, guys. I don't know, man. I think less kids. Okay. I think, I don't know, man. I think you got to just focus, okay, on what works for you. Okay, and what works for me is what I just said. Okay. And what works for me is, even if it's off-putting to others, I don't want to be living the life others are living. And I guess we can't be friends. Because you don't want to hear me say the shit I just said. And I don't want to hear the shit you got going on with your kitchen, your family, your kids. And then, you're trying to convince me like I'm wrong for being crazy. I'm trying to like be nice while I'm getting fucking irate when I'm hearing about all this shit going on. And that's why, guys, that's why divorce and that's why people go different ways. How long can two people going in a different direction walk together? Not long. That's what the Bible says, and I agree. So, Tony, Sam, you once said, I don't want anyone to know my business. I shouldn't have a YouTube channel, but I like side revenue. I don't want to know anyone else's business. Yep. I hear that, brother. Again, my friend that called me today, I love this guy. I want people to be able to call. Well, I don't want people to be able to call me. But I loved it. I respect certain people in this world. I think he's a good guy. I think he's going to be bitter as hell in 10 years. Why? Because I think he's going to end up eventually leaving this girl. He's not going to be on the title of her house. He did this big-ass renovation. There's more to come. And I don't know, but this is my opinion. It's not my life, so I keep my mouth shut. But I'm just sharing. I'm not saying his name. Look, guys, but I got to be fair in my own evaluation. I'm sitting here in the gas station, okay, by myself. Now, I'm happy. But do I think most of society would be happy living the life I live? No. Again, I saw some fat, lazy girl. She messaged me like, I want to live in my car. I looked on her channel. She got 3 videos of her sitting her big ass on the couch with her cat. I said, she don't need to be living in no damn car. Rashad, $5 super chat. Quick question, Sam. Do you think it's possible to get a remote IT job and live overseas permanently? ? I've lived in Brazil before and want to move back. Some girls from Brazil looking pretty good. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Not just IT, but you could be a project manager for a pharmaceutical company, for a medical company. So it's not just, you don't have to work directly for an information technology company. You can work for a medical company. You can work for a industrial company. You can work for a company that sells tractor trailers. You can work for the tractor trailer company. If you're a customer management, if you're in customer management, if you're in sales, if you're in project management, if you're in administration, anything where you don't have to physically be on site, companies want you to work remote. Why? Because they save on rent and you're more disposable when it's time to let you go. So yes, the answer to your question is yes, but to everything, you have to have some experience and some value. Because I've been working since I was 27, I'm 40 now. That's 23 years in the workforce. My first 10 years were working construction as an electrician. Then I spent, I would say, about 7, 8 years starting at an entry-level position for an IT company. Okay, and then over the course of the past 5 years or so, I leveraged all my experience and all my certifications that I picked up along the way, master electrician's license, different like project management certifications and different things. And, when the right opportunity came, I seized the moment. So it's scary to take a promotion. A lot of people don't take a promotion. I had a woman this year. She was a good woman, a great viewer. She said she was my #1 fan. And she shared with me that she worked for a car company, like car dealership. She had the opportunity for a promotion. She didn't take it. And then she got mad at me because I talked crazy in one of my videos. And she said, well, I think you look down on people. And I said to her in my mind, well, I think you look down on yourself or else you would have took the promotion. So yes, it's possible. But but here's the thing, Rashad. You got to have some experience. You have to show up consistently. And you have to do things that scare you a little bit. Rashad, got it? I'm 30 and transitioning to IT next year. Good job. Studying for A+ exam right now. There you go. I want to work in cybersecurity. Well, I hear that. What I could tell you is this. Get your foot in the door. And then once your foot is in the door, then work on certain certifications. And so anyone trying to get into IT, you're not going to get hired unless you have a lot of certifications and some experience in, building firewalls and, designing the infrastructure of the cloud for the customer. You're going to get hired, maybe as an on-site, hands-on tech that reboots servers. Maybe even as a security guard in a data center building. So what I tell you is get your foot in the door, however you got to do it, at a basic entry position. And then as you stay in that role, everything in life is just showing up consistently. It was the best year I ever had on YouTube. Why? Because for the prior 3 years, I showed up every day, and it builds over time. So you say, inspirational nomad, I want to be a YouTuber. I would tell you the same thing as if you wanted to be an IT person. Now, the YouTubers, less chance of you making IT money, but it's the same premise. Same premise of you starting at Walmart. You have to start. You have to show up consistently. You're not going to get paid a lot. And you got to keep doing it. And you got to push yourself to get out of your seat. No one wants to see you all the time barking in my phone like I am now. They want to see RV videos. They want to see Florida. They want to see you out. They want information that helps them. And that means you have to push yourself like you push yourself to go to the gym. Okay. And they're going to critique you along the way, and they ain't doing shit with their life. And that's just like your job. You have to go to Walmart every day. You have to stack the shelf with someone who ain't doing shit and they're critiquing you. You have to navigate and then overcome. Okay. Or you succumb and, it's like, so you can do it. I think most people are in this average bubble. Like, again, Chris Rock had said this, and I agree with this. He goes, like, he went to private schools and public schools, and what he learned was that most people are average students. There's some above and some below, but most people are average. So, most people you talk to, they have the ability to do most things. Some things they will excel in. Some things they won't. But not everyone, should be unemployed. Not everyone should be unproductive. And not everyone's disabled. Someone asked me the other day, well, what about people who are disabled? Well, what about disability insurance and subsidized housing? This year, I have a family member. They did better than ever. They had increased They had their disability insurance. They had a voucher for subsidized housing. They had extra food given to them because of the coronavirus. And look, they got free health care. They got everything that people say they want in the social programs. Universal health care, basic income, cheaper housing. So you have to remember the very poor already have everything that people are fighting for. They already have health care. They have Medicaid. They already have a level of UBI if they're on disability, or SSDI, same thing basically. They already have subsidized housing. They have a voucher. They have a voucher, meaning that the government will cover 70 to 80% of their rent. Okay. And there's no foreclosures in 2020. So even if you do nothing, okay, as long as you're not shooting up drugs and shooting people, you have the roof under your head, you have food, and you're surviving, okay? And if you put a little bit of effort into you, you're thriving. Because DoorDash people I know this year, some of them made $50,000. Being a DoorDash deliverer, some of them made $50,000. And I think some made more. Truck drivers, they had to make six figures. Those who hustled. Okay. People in IT, you know, they're working from the mountains, the beach. I know some people, they quit their IT job. I don't know what they want to do. So guys, even in a year, I know nurses that quit this year, okay? Why? Because guys, when the shit hit the fan, them nurses didn't want to deal with the COVID. They out. Now, I think they probably want to get back in because they could have made a grip. But I understand, I know people, guys, people quit every year. Whether they quit their teaching job, they quit their IT job, they quit their nursing job. And what do I tell you guys? Every time you show up, you take someone's spot by default. You say, well, I wasn't blessed with a great brain. I wasn't blessed with Michael Jordan physical ability. Well, guess what, guys? If you show up, you supplement your lack of talent. Because more than talent, people need someone who's reliable. Because what's the good of a talent if they're not there? There's no value. So guys, even if you make half-ass videos, that's why I tell you, if you show up every day, psychopaths need something to watch. Even me, like when I'm scrolling and I don't see people upload to their channel, I'm like, shit, I need something to watch. And like today I caught myself watching a transgender talking about Las Vegas. What the fuck was I watching? There was no one else was uploading. Okay. You guys got to get that science. How? Get your foot in the door, 100. Worry about how to dance later, 2,000 emoji. And what you're going to learn is most people dancing naked too. You know, like Steve Jobs had that quote. You know, some people are scared, but what they don't realize is when death comes, we're all naked. You know, like that lady who left a comment, well, if people don't have kids, how the human race could survive? Well, the humans die. Every human throughout history has died. So, guys, humans are just like, pushing the rock forward. We are all terminally ill. COVID, God forbid, it may accelerate that for some people. But no one in this live feed, no one in your life, not your parent, not your pet, not your lover that you just did a renovation for, no one's going to live forever. Okay. And what I can tell you is this. The Bible says it's good to think about your death rather than to celebrate your birth. We shouldn't be having baby showers. A baby shower and a funeral should be flipped. When a baby is born, we should mourn because they have to go through a lifetime of suffering. When they die, if people say they believe that whatever's after this is a better life, you should be celebrating. But people are about bullshit. They tell you they're in a better place, rest in peace. Well, if they say that, then when a baby is born, there should be mourning and weeping. Okay. But people are drinking alcohol. They're going to fucking destroy their diet tonight. And then tomorrow they're going to say 2021 going to be a good year. I say, well, 2020 was a good year for me. 2021, who knows? Okay. And so I don't think that if you look, I live a certain life that, look, everyone's got to live their own life. Okay. But what you're going to find out in life is most people have bad years every year. Okay. And they mask it with alcohol, with food, with relationships, with renovations, Like I think Hal said, they're all distractions. They mask the fact that they have the ability, but they don't have the effort. They mask it through, oh, no one's hiring. Guys, a lot of companies hiring right now. Okay. Now, look, if I get laid off tomorrow, I'm going to be cursing the earth. Okay. I've been there. But guess what, guys? You can't live in fear either. Okay. And that's how you live below your means. And that's how I think about before I would ever go back in debt again. Okay. Because you only get so many shots in life. And I said, well, the rest of my life, God willing, and hopefully within my control, I don't want to be back on the hook to people. Why? Because I think this is not the way I want to live the rest of my life. That's not a good year when you have to move back in with your parents. It's not a good year. It's good that you can spend quality time with your parents. That's a good thing. And that did come out of 2020. I'm glad. I'm thankful that I got to spend good time with my mom. But too much time, not good. That was bad. It was good that I got to see my mom for longer periods of time than normal. But it was bad that I spent too much too close. But it's good that I know that for the future, that when she dies or when I have to do what I have to do for me, like being in Florida, like, look, part of life is you got to fly out of the nest. When you're born, when your parents have unprotected sex and you're born, they're basically saying you're going to have to watch me die. Because most of your parents are going to die before you. Or they're going to have to suffer and watch you die. Look, guys, don't have kids. The only people who have kids are plumbers and psychopaths who can't control their penis. So, the conclusion is, every year, people get broken. When the economy is at an all-time high, there's people, because of a divorce, because of a personal circumstance, they waited too long to downsize. One of the RVs I was looking at is this guy, he's got all this shit, and now he's trying to downsize. In his late 60s. So it's good that he wants to downsize. It's bad that he waited so long. Okay. It's good that 2020 reminded us that you don't have infinity. Okay. You got the average life expectancy, which is 78. Okay. And you may have a little bit longer. And you may have a little bit less if you get COVID, God forbid, even though most people recover. How are you going to spend your time? Is there a right or wrong way? Is there a good or bad? Well, I can't say that. There's individual. Because for me, a good year is doing no renovations, is having no relationships as far as being entangled with someone. It's having no winter. For some people, a good year may be the change of seasons. Oh, what a disaster. Change of kitchen cabinets. Total disaster. Change of your last name. Oh, complete disaster. Change of the number of people in your household having a kid. Complete disaster. These are my opinions. You say there's other opinions in the world. There are, but they don't make videos regularly. Okay? So, what I can tell you is I can't do everything. Okay. There's part of life that you have to do. But it's going to be some pain. It's going to be some separating from people. And it's hard, man. But it is good to give it a shot. Because I think it's bad to just sit idle. I think it's good to just... Well, look, guys, I'm just bullshitting you a little bit because, look, we all end in the same place, but you live a better life when you go after your best life than you just say, fuck it, I'm just going to sit. So, like I say, man, it was a good year on YouTube, but overall, I saw the psychopaths at an all-time high. The mentally disturbed people that just like to play with the thumbs up, thumbs down, all the psychopaths that came out with all the conspiracy theories, some may be right, during the coronavirus. All the people that project the stuff on me but But overall, there's been more positive, more good support on YouTube than bad. We tend to remember the bad, not the good. So all I can tell you is we made it through another year. For some people, it was a good year. For some people, it's a bad. But don't fall into that. This is the last thing I want you to hear tonight. Don't fall in to that society mindset that, oh, thank God 2020 is over. If you do, you're fucked. Okay. These are the same people drinking alcohol, partying all night, bullshitting their life away in an overpriced pickup truck. They're telling you 2020 was bullshit. Well, I would say look at their life. Did they do a renovation? Did they live with their parents too long? Not my friends. I'm not talking about anyone I know. This is my mindset. Because this is my life I'm talking about, not someone else's. Because again, I recognize that people would not want to live the life I'm living. But I'm saying for those who connect with me at a certain level, you have to look at the people that are telling you 2020 was shit. And you say, well, hold up. Maybe it was bad for them, but was it really? Now, look, guys, we had a couple months it was bad for all of us, me included. I learned the lessons. But for those who showed up, for those who made some decisions, it may have been a good year. Hal, I watched your subs go from 13 to 13.3 in 2 months. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, a body emotion stays emotion. Success builds on itself. But in humility, it can all go away tomorrow. So I never think that something is guaranteed to keep going up. However, I never downplay the effort of being consistent and showing up. It's a double blessing. And I thank you. I thank everyone without the like bullshit, like, oh, I want to thank you guys. We made such a deep. I thank you. I thank you. Because I know, look, guys, without you guys, I'm talking to no one. And I did that for a couple years. But if I still had to do it, I would just shut it down. Because, I'm at a point in my life now, I'm just at a different point. Like 4 years ago, I was willing to do a live feed with like 1-2 people in it. Okay. I'm not in that place anymore. It's just part of life, like you're willing to do certain things when you're at a certain point, not anymore. Rashad, $5 super chat. The good is you're still here to see another year. Well, that could be good or bad, but I'm thankful for my health. A lot of good people didn't make it through the year. I know a couple. But the thing is, we say they're in a better place. So actually, is it good that we're still here if we're in a worse place? I'm thankful I'm healthy. I'm thankful I'm in Florida. I'm thankful I still look good enough to bag any fucking MILF I want, okay? But all I'm trying to do, okay, is get through life without any more renovations, minimal entanglements, maybe buy a home base, but that's a very tough decision. Make some more side revenue. And, hopefully I can spark and encourage some people, but I'm not trying to give you a false sales pitch. Guys, life, in one sense, again, I never want to bitch because we're in a first world country. I feel days where I'm totally inspired. However, part of life is, just all of it. It's all of 2020. It's the dookie, it's the good, it's the calling the plumbers, it's all that. So, I remember when I lost weight and someone said, Sam, by losing all that weight, you just added 10 years to your life. And I said, well, is that good? I mean, I don't want to live until my hundreds or 90s even. I don't know. I did a video today of an assisted living community in Florida. Wait till you see that one. There wasn't no one outside. They're all inside. They're waiting to die. So, I'll tell you this, guys. If you're in your 80s, don't move to Florida. Why? Guys, your life's over. I mean, guys, and you're in your 80s, you gotta just relax, okay? Relax. Even in your 70s, you gotta be careful. Guys, if you're in your 60s, you got one little sliver shot, but you're not going to be like windsurfing. If you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, get down to Florida immediately. Why? Because the good thing in 2020, you can work from anywhere. Okay, most people. There's a lot of medical industry here. That's a great industry right now. There's no state income tax. Why pay tax to Cuomo? And guys, it's the only place in the world where gyms are still open. The showers are still open. However, the infection rate is high. So if you're a high-risk person, I don't know if you want to come to Florida, okay? Because, guys, a lot of people get infected, okay? So, however, guys, there's a lot of people that were not working before the coronavirus. They were already fucked up physically before the coronavirus, okay? And they disgracefully said they hope lockdowns continue. And I said, well, they ain't going to be in my life too much longer. Because I'll never be a friend with someone who was quarantined before the quarantine. Because we're going in different directions, different mindset. Thank you, Rashad. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Infinity. We're going to take it one step at a time, guys. Rashad, South Florida is the closest place in America to Brazil. Guys, like the Caribbean. But what I tell you, Rashad, you want to come to Southeast Florida. Because Southwest Florida, it's like fucking, it's like Alabama. It's like a hotter Alabama. It's not that diverse. It's all like, it's not that good. Okay, it's not tropical. In my opinion, you want to come to Southeast Florida. It's Caribbean. It's got international vibes. Okay, and you got American infrastructure. Okay, and you got no state, Gulf Coast of Mexico, guys. It's a disaster, okay? In my opinion. All right, good job. But nowhere in America is seeing the Rio de Janeiro. Well, there's a lot of poverty in Brazil too, okay? They got a high infectious rate, not too many jobs. So if you go to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, I know you're going to get some nice women and cheap. And the reason you go get nice women is because you're making American money, okay? They want to come to America. They want you to impregnate them. And then 2021 going to be a bad year. So in my opinion, don't go to Rio de Janeiro. Get a remote job, get a vasectomy, okay, and never leave the country. Why? In my opinion, guys, the only reason people are living like a king in other countries is because the currency exchange rate strong. Like Tony Guerrera super chatted me from Canada. $10 Canadian, it's only $7 US. So if we make the dollar is worth more than the Canadian currency. Okay, is that how? Yeah, that's true. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So, what I can tell you is this: I would stay in the U.S. In my opinion, though, and I would not marry someone for immigration papers unless you were in a third world country. I would give Donald Trump a blowjob for my green card. Why, guys? I want to live in Florida. I don't want to live in third world country. Rashad. Yeah, living in one of my best friend growing up was from Brazil. He went back all the time. Yeah, living in Brazil, making U.S. dollars, you won't be living in poor areas. Hell no. And all the poor girls won't go on get with you. You'll be living in the nice ones. Yep, and you're going to have everyone in your pockets. Here's a pro tip, guys. And Rashad, pro tip. You don't want to be a rich person in a poor country. Why? Guys, everyone gunning for you. You want to be in the cut. Okay. You want to be in a middle to upper class neighborhood, okay, in a poor middle class car. You don't want to put too much attention on yourself, and you want to be in and out, dodging and weaving, okay? You don't want to be getting a Tesla and living in Rio de Janeiro. Why? Guys, you ain't going to go to the corner store without, you got a problem. So, and then when someone door dashes for you, and I don't even know if they got DoorDash in Rio de Janeiro, they're going to say, well, I want a big tip. You got a big house. And before you know it, you got a kid, you're coming back to America, okay? And you're not inspired, okay? You're doing renovations. Why? Because now you got a bigger house. Why? Because you got a bigger family. Why? Because you wanted to be the big shot in Rio de Janeiro. Big disaster. So what I tell you, Rashad, man, I'll try to give you value, man, but you got to do whatever's best for you. But I would not recommend that life, man, okay? Because you're already at where everyone wants to be. Well, at least people, you're already here. So don't go backwards, After you're married, don't get remarried, in my opinion. After you made it to a first world country, don't go back to a third world country. Like what they said about Tupac, like all the real gangsters, like Tupac did it backwards. He made it, and then he went back to associating with gang members. Okay. So like Chris Brown, too. Chris Brown made it. That's like everyone's dream to make it out. And then he started associating with the Bloods. You don't want to make it out of a bad situation, okay? And then go back. That's hustling backwards. Okay? Guys, I don't know if you know this, but Jay-Z didn't retire in Marcy Projects, okay? Jay-Z ain't no, guys, Nipsey Hussle tried to stay around his neighborhood. You got shot. You don't want to go backwards in life. You want to go forward. Why? Hey, guys, look. What I can tell you is this. The Federal Reserve is there to help the destitute. And when you're in a third world country, there's no Federal Reserve because some countries can't print their own currency. So when they're not getting vouchers for their house, guess what their voucher is? You as a stick-up. See, like some of you people begrudge the Federal Reserve, the vouchers, the food stamp. Well, guys, if you don't have that, you know what you got? You got more stick-ups. Okay. So you better thank God for every subsidy. And what I can tell you is, guys, you got to go forward in life. Okay. And some people won't lie to you, but I think some people lying to themselves. Okay. Because what I've seen in life is you're going to fuck yourself up trying to repeat the past. And like I say, guys, nothing is the same. You don't want to live like Al Bundy. You don't want to be fantasizing about high school football. It's only good. Life is only somewhat good when you're going forward. When you're going backwards, it's a complete disaster. And believe me, even when you're going forward, you're going to get knocked on your ass because there's no way you go forward without taking hits. I take hits. And yes, it's the grace of God, but yes, it's the willingness to just keep going forward. But there may come a day where any of us get knocked on our ass and we just need help. But what I can tell you is if you got any fight in you left, push your car. Why? Because like Chris Rock said, when you're on the side of the road, if you're pushing your own car, people will help you. But if you're just sitting there waiting for someone to stop, not going to be good. Not too many people stop. The more effort you put in your life and the better position you put yourself in life, the better you are. And part of that is environment. Okay. And part of that, okay, is knowing your surroundings, knowing the geographical, the economic, the crime rates. Like someone from Hawaii told me today they bought a house in a bad neighborhood. And I know it's a bad neighborhood because I know that part of Florida. And they said, well, yeah, I just bought the house here. I'm like, why the hell would you buy a house there? My mom said, this person's crazy. They're halfway across the country in Hawaii, buying a house in Florida, in a bad part of Florida. And I'm saying to myself, they're in for a bad 2021. Why? Because they tried to numb the pain of 2020 by getting an emotional high of buying a house in Florida before they've lived in Florida for at least a year. Never buy a house in an area you haven't lived for at least a year. Why? Because you may move to Rio de Janeiro and then you say, oh shit, this is why people want to get an American pregnant and have their kids so they can move the fuck out of Rio de Janeiro. Because I don't know if you know this, guys, but South Beach is nice. There's parts of Miami that's very bad. So, just remember in life, it's a delicate balance between navigating this world. And it's a dangerous slope. Rashad, I love Brazilian women. Uh-oh. Oh, God, man. Okay, let's stay positive. I'm having a... Oh, God. Hold on. Let's stay positive tonight. I'm having a kid with one day. Oh, we got negative. I'll deal with the consequences later. Oh, damn it. Damn, 2021 gonna be a shitty year, man. Well, not for me, for you. I just say, well, wherever you're gonna have that kid, but this is my opinion. But nah, Rashad, look, I'm not mad. Well, I am mad at you. I'm not gonna, but I have no right to be mad at you. Why? It's your life. Never let me tell you how to live. Never. However, never let me say that that's a good idea, because that's not me. But I love you and I respect you, Rashad. And I had a bad day today because I told a good friend of mine, I called his girlfriend a bitch, and it was wrong of me to do. But I got very upset when I heard that he was doing crazy shit. But I shouldn't have said nothing. I should have just kept my mouth shut. So, How do I feel about your statement? I think it's a complete disaster. But since I've learned my lesson today, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and say, guys and girls, thank you for watching. Let's get through the rest of 2020. We got about 4 more hours in America. In Asia, they're already starting the day of the new year. And we'll go from there. Peace.